So, Bianca, is that how you say it? Let me know if I'm mispronouncing anything.
Yeah, that's my name.
Wonderful. Well, go ahead. I won't take up any more of your time. Space is yours.
Thanks. This is a story about my aunt, Elena. She was...
Actually, can you start by telling me who La Llorona is?
Sure. Well, I guess I can start by saying that I never saw her myself. La Llorona is this spirit, this shared story, this assumption. When we talk about La Llorona, we talk about a woman who lives in the rivers. She exists in the night and we just know not to look for her. They say she still wanders our streets because her soul is lost in the endless current of the river she drowned in. The same river that her children drowned in. And that's the kind of suffering that led her to become the figure that we know her as today. The Weeping Woman.
Dígame, Llorona, ¿dónde está su hijo? ¿Dónde están las almas de su enemigo? Dígame, Llorona, ¿dónde está su hijo? ¿Dónde están las almas de su enemigo?
Maria, Maria, what an honorable woman. Such a beautiful woman and the talk of the town. When men would walk, she would leave them all swooning. She would pay no attention to the mention of her name. Mírala como baila Maria. Oh, so lonely, so lovely Maria. Will you settle for someone, Maria? Give the world all your love, and perhaps if you wait, it will all come to you in an answer.
Then as fate would take it, she'd end up and make it with a man of Spanish descent. Whether it was his skin or his eyes, she said the surprise of the time he would spend with her. Oh, Maria, Maria, she gave in to the colony. He took hold of her heart and he gave her peace among the palms and mountains of Corozal. 2 children born to Maria, oh, so lively, so lovely, Maria. How they both share a smile, Maria. Give them love, give them sorrow, cause there's no tomorrow when you let your love begin to waters of light.
¿Dónde están las almas de su enemigo? Dígame, Llorona, ¿dónde está su hijo? ¿Dónde están las almas de su enemigo?
She should have known it was all too perfect.
The safety of the children, the laughter and the breeze.
The way in which he gifted a promise of life. The way in which he killed it with ease.
Maria, Maria.
Don't let all the gossip and the rumors get clearer.
Let him be a husband and a father in vain.
Maria, Maria.
That
their father was a father and a husband in Spain.
What is this dream?
Is
Where
this a
am I
dream? I
standing,
can't
Mom?
Why is everyone
Is that
watching
you,
everything
Mom?
I say?
Look at me, just look at my face.
Doesn't
We're
matter
only
now, we're
dreaming.
not
Look
finished.
around
Listen,
you, this is
listen
just
to
a
her
dream,
cries.
Mom.
We are
Look at
not
me.
done. She says,
What comes next? Do I run? I see the eyes of my husband in my daughter and my son. I kiss their foreheads one by one.
don't look at your children.
Come with me, my children. Father loves you more, but I want you forever.
Your children cannot swim.
Let's go to the river. It's late, but you'll be safe. It's cold, but you won't shiver. Let's go to the river. They can call me what they want. A little crying never hurt no one. Swim forever if it means I get to swim with you.
story starts with my aunt Elena. She was a seamstress, 46 years old at the time, which made 46 years living in Corozal. Corozal sits in the mountains north of the Barranquitas, west of Naranjito, south of Vega Alta, and east of Orocovis. But none of those towns have as many rivers as Corozal. Elena knew these rivers well. One of them flows behind her house. It was in that river that police had found the body of her husband, Carlos, back when she was in her 20s when her son had just had a baby. She told authorities that she was not responsible. She told them that Carlos had run away that night with their son, Gabi. She said she thought they were gone for good, until she found Carlos' body face down floating in the river behind her house. There was never any actual evidence of wrongdoing. That never stopped people in the town from piecing together their own stories. Some said it was gang involvement. Some said it was Elena's rightful response to infidelity. But others said Carlos fell victim to a much older spirit. Something much more sinister. Some say La Llorona still lives in the shadows of Corozal. They say it was La Llorona that caused Carlos's death.
So this is where the stainless steel racks would be.
Let's just say maybe some tables.
Manolo had been one of Elena's closest friends all the way back since second grade in La Fidel Lopez Colon. After Elena brought up this wild idea to open up a tailoring shop in Corozal, Manolo offered her a spot at the one shop he had left to rent.
Okay, so maybe a table over here somewhere with all your sewing equipment and machines and fabrics y things y todo eso.
Machines. Plural?
Claro. Think big, Elena.
I just finished saving barely enough for rent, Manolo. Just take it easy. You know, I don't like that window. Those people on the sidewalk, they can see everything. They could just look at me whenever they want.
What do you have to hide?
I don't know, Manolo. I don't like the fact that they could just look at me, decide what they think of me, and then just walk away.
That is their legal right.
I'm sure it is, but do you think they know how many years I've spent saving up to end up in this cardboard box of a store? They don't know about my son running away as soon as he turned 18. They don't know he took all of the money I had saved to start my business.
Maybe not.
They don't know that as of today, it took me 4 years since he left to save up just a fraction of that money.
I don't think they care. But Elena, that's a good thing. The people strolling by, they're not spending time, thinking about you. They're trying to figure out where they're going to lunch, or where they're gonna see a movie tonight. Or look, most of them are just leaving church.
I deserve a smoke.
In here?
Why not?
Because I'm supposed to be helping you quit, and because the store isn't fireproof.
Mira, if you're not gonna give me what I want, please leave my store.
I told you. Listen, it's not your store until you give me that deposit. Or, here's another option. You can just let me handle the rent, since it is my property.
You telling me what to do? Nope, you're not handling anything. This will be my store, paid for by me, and I said go. Give me a moment before we leave. Let me breathe the clean, non-smoky air in here.
You finally got what you wanted.
Well, what do you think?
It's ugly.
And I imagine that you could do better.
¿Sabes qué? I'm sure I could have, with a man doing all the work for me.
Ay, qué sucia eres.
How long do you think we'll be talking for?
What? Now you don't want to talk to me?
You think you'll still be talking to your dead sister after you move into your own business? It's a fair question. Maybe you only talked to me because sewing alone in your house was lonely. Maybe you just needed a familiar voice. Someone to keep you company.
I guess we'll see. I just wish you were here to see this.
Just me?
Just you?
Not Gabby. Not your son, Gabby?
Well, he's not here to see it.
So call him. Get him to come.
He's all the way in the United States.
He's in New York. He told you that. No te hagas.
You know my memory's bad.
Do some crossword puzzles then.
If he wanted to, he would have come.
How the hell would he know?
Intuition, nena, no sé.
4 years without seeing your son? You still don't want to see him? You don't want to show him what you've built?
It's more complicated than that, Miranda.
I get it. You know, I would have been your first customer. I would have just brought a bunch of my underwear and watched while you made your little alterations.
Yeah, maybe you're better off dead. What? I can say that. Because you're not real. You're just a voice in my head.
My mom's name was Miranda, but I don't actually remember her. She died when I was a baby. My mom was both Titi Elena's sister and her best friend growing up. So after my mom's accident, it took Titi Elena a very long time to recover. Sometimes me and Abuela Lydia would see Elena talking to herself in her house, or outside, or on the porch. It seemed like she was talking to Mommy, though I was never brave enough to ask her. Abuela Lydia tried making Elena go to church more often. She thought that would fix whatever was going on with her, but all it did was cause Elena to grow more resentment. Across the street from Abuela Lydia's house, there was this other house, a humble, empty house in front of a river. Sometimes Elena and Mami would play around there as kids without telling Abuela, but once Mami passed away, Elena decided she wanted to move into this house, a decision Abuela tried her very best to prevent. Elena quickly realized that her mother's disapproval was a frequent and constant element in her life and began seeking new ways to envision herself. Abuela had her playing volleyball at an early age, but once Elena moved into her own house, she took on sewing as a new hobby. And then once she met Carlos and became pregnant with Gabi, she was quick to let go of volleyball and began pursuing a life from home, sewing clothes for people in the neighborhood.
Life's looking good, Elena. A steady hand, modest dreams, it's all that you'll ever need. Your life's a canvas. But dreams are so expensive. The rent, your mother, the car, $1 doesn't go very far. But maybe stitching clothes is your kind of success. Though all the praise you'll hear are voices in your head. Oh well, all is well, because the voices in my head are kinder than the outside one, Elena. The others cannot hear, but they're still here, so very dear, Elena.
Elena told us about this woman that showed up at her door. She said that the woman's face was shrouded by shadow. Elena said she tried to move to see if it was just a trick of the light, but she was never able to make out who this person was.
Buenas tardes, Elena. I hope I'm not disturbing anyone.
No se preocupe, there's no one to disturb. I can't quite see you in this light. Would you like to come inside?
Oh no, this should be very brief. I'm getting married very soon, and my gown needs lots of adjustments. I'm not a picky bride, but I want to make a good impression. It shouldn't be too difficult. I have here very detailed instructions.
I don't do wedding gowns, mi amor. I do almost everything but kids' clothes, dress clothes, baby clothes, you name it. I've even made a few outfits for pets here and there, but no wedding gowns.
Name
I'm
your
really
price.
sorry. I really wish I could help you, chica.
I understand. I've heard what people have been saying about you and your husband. Can't imagine what that must be like. Here's my number. If you ever need me, don't hesitate to call.
Eres de Corozal.
I live up there.
Oh, the house on the mountain, that's your house. You can come in if you'd like. Let me just get a pen and a pencil really quick. I can give you my phone number in case you ever need anything.
But when Elena turned around, the woman was gone.
You're what you sow, Elena. There's more than fabric and gowns and more than that in this town. Your name means nothing. And worst of all, they think you killed your husband. They didn't see how he picked up your son, how he fled into the night. How you went running, convinced you'd find him out by the trees, wishing you'd brought a knife. Then in the river, his body floating, you didn't do it. Your son was next to him, alive and next to him. Qué pena para Elena. But then the voices in your head, they let you breathe. They said, we're here, Elena. You'll now watch your son grow. Let God lost be a memory, Elena. But when your son leaves, who does that leave? Elena.
Elena got a call. From me. Abuela Lydia had just suffered from a stroke and was being sent to the hospital.
We all grow old, Elena. Be there for them all you can. There's things we can't understand.
Abuelo, mami. I can't sit and spend a lifetime mourning. No matter what, nothing goes right. Though all I do is for this family. Nowadays I ask if I'm the one to blame.
It's like you're cursed, Elena. Your modest dreams caving in, the walls, the streets that you swore you'd never leave.
Elena, please find a way to get me out of here. I don't want to be here. I don't trust these people.
Mami, deja de hablar así. You're fine.
Hey, Lydia, how are you doing?
I'm doing the way God intended. In a hospital bed on a Sunday night, talking to a handsome man.
And that's why we love you. Elena, how can I help? Has anyone come to see her?
Just a nurse.
I know a doctor here. I'll go tell him to come right away.
Gracias, Manolo.
Claro, lo que sea.
We're gonna have to postpone the opening of the shop again. Maybe even cancel it. I'll have to...
Don't worry about the rent.
Manolo...
It's my building. You can figure this out first if you want to. Up to you. But as long as the shop is up, it belongs to you.
Thank you.
If you're looking to rebuild your home, rebuild it with him. You need to stop running away from the things that chase you. If it's here, si lo tienes ahora, don't take that for granted. Embrace what falls upon you.
Embrace what falls upon you. The only option, it seems, is stay collected and breathe. You're in the spotlight. Sometimes we make a sacrifice and look away. Each life I make my own, each day's a brand new day.
Your life's a canvas.
No es fácil, pero ya casi. And now, the voices in my head, they're telling me you made your choice, Elena. What's living doesn't last, so you move fast to make it last, Elena. And if you say your name in love, you'll find that God is dreaming of, Elena. Though it's harder than it seems, it's time out with the old Elena. Joy
I stayed with Abuela in the hospital while Elena left to go get that dress from that woman with no face.
Thanks for the favor. Okay, so who's gonna spend the night here?
What do you mean who's spending the night?
Hi, Bianca, you know I can't just sleep anywhere. Doctor said she'd be here 1 day tops.
We can call Gabby.
No. Let's leave Gabi out of this.
Abuela's not gonna get any healthier from here. He should know that she's sick at least, don't you think? You know how he was with Abuela.
He wouldn't want to see her like this. Let's just wait till she gets better.
Well, I'm gonna need help, Titi. I can't just take care of her by myself.
No one's asking you to do that.
No, but it's expected of me that I stay here.
Where else would you be?
Hey, is Lydia okay?
You told Alejandra?
I just wanted to let her know.
Congrats on the new business. I'm excited to see you in your element.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll stay here for the night.
You know, I really thought the sympathy would work.
You can't be in everyone's good graces, especially not hers right now. You're gonna have to give it up.
I hadn't seen her in so long. I mean, what did I do?
It's not you. She just had to let go of her shop again because of the hospital bill. Luck has not been on her side. But you also did date her son.
Well, what's she gonna think when she learns I'm dating her niece?
I don't know, but go ahead and tell her that we've made out on her porch. See what she says. Maybe she hates you because you're just like her.
Stop!
I mean, you both played volleyball, you both were top of your class, both of you could probably swing one way or the other.
Bianca!
Only difference was that she was pregnant by now.
And what's stopping me from following suit?
Stop. I may be unemployed now, but that doesn't mean I have time to raise a little worm. I still want to go to film school. I still want to travel. I want to see Rome. I have a whole list.
All right. Come on, National Geographic. Let's go home.
Alejandra and I headed to my house. Well, I lived with Abuela, so it was always Abuela's house. But it was also my house. It's the house my mom lived in before she passed. I felt bad for having left Abuela behind. I always wondered what it was like to sleep in a hospital.
Elena,
Okay.
I saw Carlos.
What?
I saw your husband, Carlos, walking down the hall.
Go to sleep, Mommy. Carlos is dead. It was probably just a dream.
I'm awake.
Then it's the medication.
Bendición.
Why are you here?
I heard Abuela was sick. I didn't know what was going on.
Who told you she was sick?
¿Qué pasó? Gabi? Am I hallucinating again?
No soy yo. Bendición, Abuela.
Be careful.
With what? I'm just in bed. He's not going to break a bone. Dame un abrazo.
I'm happy to see you.
Why?
Why? What kind of question is that?
Mommy, go back to sleep.
Can I stay here with Abuela?
No, I'll take you home.
Let him sleep here. He was just on an airplane, Dios mío. He must be exhausted.
Mommy, are you okay?
Your son.
By that next afternoon, Lydia was allowed to go back home. Elena called me telling me they were driving back to the house.
How are you feeling, Mommy?
I'm fine. I want to sleep. I barely slept last night. Did you sleep?
You can get all the sleep you want when we get home.
Can we stop somewhere for dinner? Tito's is about to close, but I'm sure he let us get a plate.
No, Mommy. Bianca's waiting for you at home. I'm sure she cooked something for you.
But I haven't been to Tito's in so long.
And it was your decision to leave Tito's behind, was it not?
Titos! Titos!
It smells so good. Gracias, mama. This town's just how I left it. My spirit's high while the sun comes down. See, the roads are still curved and my stomach's still disturbed. Wonder what people say since that day I went away. We'll see.
Mommy, do you see anything different in Gabby's face?
Facial hair?
No.
Wrinkles?
No.
Nena, then what?
I can't give you an answer.
You need to let that resentment go. It's not good for you. Speaking of wrinkles.
You make it sound like it's easy.
Well, what's the alternative? Send him back?
Corozal, do you remember? You gave me colors, gave me summers full of coffee and sun. Do you remember who I am? How's my posture, my height, my clothes, my demeanor when I leave? Where do memories live? Can you forgive me, Corozal? This town's just how I left it. The humid air greets my sinuses. And my house, it looks the same as if time had stopped that day. Wonder what mommy thinks. Will I last long in a house like this? Who knows?
Hope he's not looking my way. He'll see my face and he'll know I'm scared. What if I can't forgive all these years we didn't speak? Can't focus on that now. First get home, fix it at the house.
Corozal, how I missed you. You gave me colors. Turn this boat off from a boy to a man. I've been doing the best I can. How's my accent, my tan, my taste, my demeanor when I leave? Where did my memories land? Will you still remember who I am? El café.
It was a surprise to me when I saw Gabi. I had no idea he'd come. Elena blamed me at first for inviting him, but I knew it hadn't been me. He had this smile on his face, like he was in a place he'd never been before. He looked odd. All of a sudden, I was struggling to remember if my memory of him had been warped or something since he left. Maybe I was confusing him with someone else. Either way, I didn't know how to approach him. I was with Alejandra when Gabby showed up. At that moment, me and Alejandra had been dating. She had been working at the post office back then. Since Abuela had been in the hospital, Alejandra had spent the night with me at home. And it was the first night we had spent together.
Bianca, he's coming. He saw us.
How do you know he saw us?
Alejandra! Bianca!
Don't be weird. Smile. What am I supposed to say?
What do you mean?
Gabby never broke up with me, and I never broke up with him.
You broke up with him in your head.
Yes, but he's not in my head. What am I supposed to tell him?
Okay, wow, he's really taking his time. It's not that hard. Just make him feel what you felt when he was gone.
And what was it I felt?
Alejandra, he left you stranded. Why are you so confused with what to do? He didn't even tell you he was coming.
I never said that.
What?
He's been sending me letters.
Letters?
Where'd he go?
Alejandra, he sent you letters and you didn't tell me?
There was something off about the letters. Where is he?
He was just over there. He said our names.
Maybe he went inside. Look up there.
Alejandra was right. A huge shadow was hovering over us. We had just been in a sunny, clear day just minutes before, but it was now a towering sea of gray. It was peaceful, and it was intimidating. We've all seen a gray sky before, but this one felt special. You could feel it in the town, in the air. You could hear it.
When the clouds appear in the sky like quills, I must bring inside everything I cherish. Let the ground replenish all it once had lost. Let it have its cycle. Nature has its cost. When the sky turns gray, heaven's cold, how scared I get. Soothing like an omen's shadow to reveal those necks. Let the ground replenish what it was. How scared I get. Heaven has its shadows, nature has its cost.
Elena's house was beautiful from the outside, surrounded by palms, by mountains, by humid and gentle air that you could only get in this pocket of land. But on the inside of her house was something that only me and Abuela and Gabi were used to. The walls in Elena's house were covered in crosses. The crosses were Abuela's doing. She'd bring Elena a new cross almost every time she'd come over. And what was Elena supposed to do? Throw them away? The crosses felt natural now, no different than a portrait or a calendar. Lydia said the crosses were for her protection, but Elena never knew what Lydia was trying to keep her safe from.
This is in my room.
Give me that. I don't know why that's in
Mommy,
your...
are the voices still around?
Okay.
I'm serious. The entire house smells like cigarette smoke again.
Well, it's not me. I gave up smoking. I did my part.
Then why?
Gabi, I'm working. Someone's got to pay for these lights to come on.
Sorry I took your money.
That's so brave of you. Thank you.
Well, I had to pay for food somehow. I needed a place to live out there.
What? So it was either rob me or rob a bank? You had food here. This was a place to live.
Did you forgive me?
Mejor pedir perdón que pedir permiso, huh? I'll forgive you when I can.
What's the dress for?
Bills?
Is that because of me? I heard you open your business.
Who told you?
One day I'm going to repay you. I'll pay you back all your money.
Oh yeah? Doing what?
I'm writing a book. I don't have the cover for it yet, but it's called The Island Maiden.
Since when do you write books?
Since I discovered that part of myself. Do you want to know what the book's about? It's a novel about the people in this town, about my life here.
Well, is it about the people in this town or is it about your life here?
I guess my life.
Is it about me?
You exist in it. You my mother, you exist, but it's not you.
So it's me.
It's some of my own stories and some of the first-hand stories from the people around here.
Please tell me you came here for Abuela and not just some book.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I'm trying to take all the mess that happened here and all the shit that I've dealt with and turn it into art. Turn it into something that's beautiful for once.
You don't have to turn it into anything. You can just let it be what it is, a memory or dreams or nightmares. I don't care. But you let it be what it is and not turn it into something for other people to go read and judge me. I mean, judge us for. If you want the money so bad, go fix a car. Go change a tire. Go work at the supermarket. Do something. Gabi, for the love of God, grow up and do something that's real. This was fine when you were a teenager, but...
It would be easier to grow out of it if I knew what happened to my own dad. If I had something to remember him by. If I knew anything. My friend in the second grade was the one that told me that they found my dad dead in the river behind my house. Second grade. And it wasn't until I left that I realized how sick that was.
Just wait till you have your own kids, Gabi.
I want to know the truth. That's all I want. And that's fine if that's not what you want to give me. But I will find it out. Even if that means having to come up with that truth myself.
Gabi, stories come and go. Do you not have anything else that you feel strongly about?
Mommy, I got into this because of you. People were saying you killed him. And I grew up knowing that you didn't do it. But I wanted to prove it to them. But how?
Okay, yeah, enough.
Something either in this house or just in my spirit while I was out there, it was telling me that something else happened to him. And how do I question it?
So go.
But
go work on your project. I'll work on mine.
Out of my window, I had seen Gabi sitting in front of the river with a notebook, a pen, and a tape recorder next to him. I could tell him and Elena had just had a fight. I called Alejandra, but she didn't pick up. I had been looking for her all day. I drove to her house, and I went to the post office to see if she was at work, but she wasn't anywhere.
Fix your posture. You look like a lizard.
you ever hear a river speak?
You're not even gonna look at me?
It's nice to see your face again. I wish I'd brought back a picture of you with me to New York. All I could do was draw you. You want to see one of the drawings?
I do look like someone that would talk to a river.
I remember hearing it speak all the time as a kid. And now it feels more quiet, like it's waiting for something.
Did you write that down?
I wrote something down.
You know, this is still the first and only river I've even seen with my own eyes. Every time I come here, I find a rock to sit on, and every time I'm surprised at how soft the stone is. I always make sure to walk further downstream so your mom won't see me.
The rocks are softer over there, and over there I can sit under the flamboyant. I look up, and it feels like tiny fires falling over me. I love it.
Still come here?
To the river? All the time. I come here on my lunch breaks, mainly because it's close to the post office. I know I could go to any other river, but Bianca invites me to go to some of the other ones, but there's something unique about this one.
This one speaks.
I'm sure every river's got something to say. Who told you about Lydia being in the hospital?
No one, I saw it in a dream.
The dream told you she was sick?
You know this about me. What, are you surprised?
No, I just wish it was as easy as closing my eyes. Closing my eyes and knowing exactly where to go. Just imagine putting your head on a pillow and some voice tells you to go to Rome or something. I've never been to Rome.
You've never been to Vieques either.
Exactly! So much possibility.
Did you forgive me?
I think I did.
Mommy didn't.
Did you expect her to?
I don't know what I expected.
You can't fix any of this in a day. You have to be patient with her.
She wasn't patient with you. She can't stand you.
It has nothing to do with you.
Well, I'm glad I at least have you.
Why do you say that?
Alejandra, there you are.
I'll leave you to whatever conversation you're having here.
High above the mountain, there's a flamboyant tree, whose blood-red flowers fall onto the river that flows below it. A tree of life. A tree of fire. A golden current carries the river that flows below it. Many songs have been written by this river, and lives have been taken by this river. One of them I see every night. It's one of them. One of these people in the river I see every time I go to sleep. Pick up a paper and pen and learn to dream once again. And if I close my own eyes, I hope that I'm not pretending. Yes, stories come and they go, but this one's reaching from the inside. It's what my mother doesn't know. Pick up a paper and pen, you start to feel like before. I carried pain when I left, but I brought back so much more. So should I just walk away? Should I have come? Who can say? Ay, que dolor, que difícil es la cosa. Can I negotiate what I want after so many years? Ay, que dolor, que difícil este día. It's either trust or self-expression, and it's all 'cause my dreams, they own me. 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 The pen can draw little lines, the paper tells you they're mine. The one river in the forest, the only one I didn't try. I've heard her voice many towns, the town has heard it, it seems. I don't know why it's a secret, now you know it feels so real. I I pushed my mother away, left her with nothing to say. No matter how much I want, is this fair? Is this fair? Well, I'm here now. If I stay, I can make this all go away. I quedo amor que difícil es la cosa. Risking it all for just one story. After so many years. I quedo amor que difícil es la noche. How do I get her not to worry and understand that my dreams, they own me, they own me, they own me, they own me.
That day, Gabi decided he would begin taking interviews from people around the neighborhood. He went from door to door, knocking and waiting for an answer from anybody who was willing to make a statement. And I remember, because he dragged me along with him. Some had their doors open already, some recognized him, some closed their doors on him, and he'd find that in their stories there'd be little to no concern in the people telling them. They'd speak of these supernatural incidents as if they had been talking about their trip to the grocery store. What they didn't fail to mention, however, is that these spirits are not to be provoked. After an entire afternoon of interviews, Gabi headed to Lydia's house.
Todo.
Entre.
Bendición.
Dios te bendiga, mi amor.
How are you feeling?
Ay, nene. You, your mom, and your cousin won't stop asking me how I'm feeling, as if there's anything you can do. I'm fine. I'm alive. Better than a lot of people, I can say. Look, this woman on the game show, she's a mother of 5, lost her brother in the military, lost her job last year, and if she gets one more question wrong, she's about to lose all her money. That's $5,000. I feel like she's in a much worse position than me, no? And no one's asking her how she's feeling. ¿Qué es eso?
I brought you some oranges.
Ay, qué lindo. Did you buy those?
No, I went and got them from the field. The trees behind your house.
Those are from my trees. Since when do you know how to pick oranges?
It's just pulling something off of a tree, abuela.
It's never just pulling something off of a tree. Don't ever forget the hens that worked here.
I don't want to. I wanted to ask you, do you remember those noises I used to tell you about? The ones I heard as a kid? I'm old enough now. I just wanted to know if there's...
Your mom doesn't like me talking about this, Gabby.
I know, I know, but...
Where's that red light? It keeps... Is that thing on?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a tape recorder.
Are you recording me? Turn that off, Dios mío.
Sorry. I just wanted to remember what you told me. Well, I'm writing a book, and I wanted to use the interviews as the foundation.
Wow, el mismo.
Who?
Sorry. The way you said that, you sounded like your dad.
Oh, what did he do?
What do you mean, what did he do? He stole you and ran away.
No, what did he do for work?
Tu mamá didn't tell you. Still? This whole time. Maybe it's better that way.
Abuela, por favor.
You're not smarter than your mom. If she decided you shouldn't know, then maybe you shouldn't know.
There's something mommy doesn't know.
What are you talking about?
The crosses on the walls. There's something she doesn't know, but you know. You're hiding something from Mommy. You're hiding your maternity pictures. You know what the noises are, don't you?
How do you know about that? Carlos had a barbershop near a pueblo. He ran it at that time. There was no one who could cut hair like him. And you could tell by looking at him. His facial hair was always sharp as it could be. He also had this leather thing, this leather bag that he carried all his tools. Your mom and dad got into a fight one day. I don't remember what it was about. I just remember both of them were acting strange. Your mom threw the leather bag with his razors in the river. He was mad. He was very mad. I told her that wasn't a nice thing to do, but what was there for me to do?
Abuela, what do you know about the night he went missing? It would help with the interviews.
Sabes que, you know what you should do? You should go pick some oranges. Bring them to your mom. She seems stressed. I'm sure some fruit would make her happy.
These were the last two.
The last two what?
Oranges.
From the tree? Impossible. I haven't picked any in months now. You're probably looking at the wrong trees.
No, in the field. These were the last two I found. The trees all look darker than I've ever seen them. I didn't know if I should ask you about them.
I was just looking at the trees yesterday. They seemed fine.
They're not. They're not fine.
Elena worked on the dress for so many hours. I don't remember seeing her stand up from her chair. She looked frustrated. The kind of frustrated you get when you bite your tongue, or when gum gets stuck in your hair, or when you're reminded of something and it's the last thing you wish you had been reminded of.
Carlos is back.
What?
He's back.
Alive?
In plain sight.
Where?
Finish the dress, and you'll know.
Manolo saw how this dress was affecting Elena, so he asked her to come over to his backyard for some beers, maybe sing a few songs, something to clear her mind. The stars always look beautiful from Manolo's backyard.
Have you ever tried the decima?
Don't think I have.
My dad was a master at decima. He could do it drunk, he could do it sober, he could do it on one leg. If you stopped him in the street and pulled down his pants and said, do a decima, I bet you he would deliver the most beautiful poetry of your life.
And what about you?
What about me?
Did you inherit that?
You know I didn't.
Try one right now.
I could embarrass myself.
Ay, por favor, it's just 10 lines and a couple rhymes. Look, I'll start one for you. If marriage is a great mystery, I'd rather remain closed. I'd rather have no one know what's beneath that veil's history. Ahora tú.
Which one's next?
You got 6 more lines.
Which one's next?
Rhyme with history.
Okay. Well, it once was a man's victory to preserve a thing so sacred. So much time that goes on wasted.
So much time that goes on wasted when we don't focus at all, with our backs against the wall.
This is by far the best beer I've ever tasted.
Why did you have to ruin that last line? We were on a roll.
I told you I'm bad at these.
Oh.
Hey, you want another one?
You already got me reciting poetry.
I've been meaning to ask you, do you think you would ever marry again?
Who would I marry? No one deserves me. Do you know I hand-stitched my own wedding dress?
Of course I know. You made sure all your guests knew.
Because if I didn't talk about it, who else was gonna know? I mean, It was a humble dress, you remember, but it fit me perfectly. It had these little flowers, these amapolas running down the sides, pero te digo, probably my best work to date. The only thing is that the flowers, no one else could see them. And mommy told me not to put flowers on my wedding dress, but I made them small enough so that at least I could see them. Porque pues, it's my wedding day, carajo. Let me put some amapolas on my dress.
Do you still have it? Do you still have that dress?
Oh, I threw it out in the river. I mean, once Carlos was gone, I didn't want to see it again. There was no use for it.
Well, it could have been a nice memory, no? Something to remind you.
All I could remember when I looked at it was him. But after a night out, when he was all smelly and handsy and broke, no valía la pena. And sometimes looking at the dress was like looking at a mirror, but a foggy mirror. One that wouldn't let me see myself anymore.
Pero I mean, there's a bright side. You should be proud of yourself. You ended up spending so many years by yourself with your son, caring for him.
What's the bright side of abuse, Manolo?
Sorry, there's none.
I never told mommy this, but Carlos used to put, he would crush sleeping pills and sprinkle them into my food. Just so he could go out whenever he wanted. I mean, eventually I caught on. I'd make sure my son was asleep and I'd just go to bed.
Why would someone do something like that?
I think it's me.
No, I didn't want to imply there was something you did.
No, not something I did. Something I'm made of. I must be cursed. Someone must have put a curse on me.
I think we're all cursed. You don't think we're all cursed?
I don't think we're all cursed.
I think we're all cursed. Just living here in this land, the air sometimes feels thick, as if it was filled with
death.
What?
It is. It's filled with death.
I was going to say like dust, like dark dust, but sure, death probably similar.
Manolo, I hear voices when I'm in silence.
Hang off one beer. Sorry, voices. What do they say?
Where's your son?
You're the first person I've ever told this to.
The river's waiting.
I believe you, actually. I mean, sometimes I sit out here watching the trees pile high, and then as the night rolls in, it's like time for conversation. Like nighttime is when the truth comes out. And I hear things. I hear music. I hear farmers, jibaros, jibaras.
I can pretend to know the stories of another time ago, but I can hear the echoes. All the people throughout the centuries made these mountains green and golden. We can hear their lives unfolding, cause our land is just their memory. From a creek the water raging, carrying in it crystal sunlight, bringing a reflection so bright to the face of a young child. So we learn to reconcile that a simple life is alright. I can't pretend to know the stories of another time ago, but I can hear the echoes. You wanna know my secret? How I can always feel so free. Time keeps changing with the seasons, pero la vida belongs to me. You think I can improvise a decima?
I think you're gonna try no matter what I say.
What I hear the echoes tell me, what I hear the spirits say. They say one day you'll go away with a family and your lady. Who's that lady? Tell me. They say she's real good with needles, her hands like nimble rivers, and a waterfall for her hair. I just wish she'd be less scared, for her troubles are not a big deal.
Many years ago at my wedding, there was a couple, but they were dead. In her hand, a cigarette. In his hand was a machete. I walked up to the lady. I said, "Are you here for someone?" She said, "You look so grown up." Then she vanished, gone since then. I still smell her cigarettes. I found a machete in my son's room. You talk of simple times.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's not that big a deal.
Elena, I was looking for a
Well,
rhyme.
you can keep your beer. No, I didn't want to bother you at all.
Elena, I've hit a wall here. I believe you, I just want to understand.
You see, this is why I stay quiet, why I don't speak. Don't hold my
Just
hand.
let me be part of your story, Elena.
You need to let me go.
That night, neither Elena nor Gabi slept. Elena stayed up working on the dress, and the sound of her sewing machine kept Gabi up most of the night. The next day began with rain.
Elena.
Not now.
Elena, we don't speak anymore. You're not listening to me. I'm scared for you. I'm scared for Gabi.
I said not now. Ugh! Of course the power's out after a drop of rain.
Are you gonna pick that up? Mommy's on her way.
Why would she come? Isn't she sick?
She's coming because she has something important to tell you. You need to calm yourself down before she gets here.
What? Did she send you here?
You need rest. You haven't slept.
Tell that to Mommy. She's the one that's not resting. Look at her coming all the way over here in this rain.
Elena, I've been watching you suffer, and I think it's because of me. I came here to say I'm sorry.
Mommy, this rain is gonna make you more sick. The hospital bills aren't your fault. But you need to let your body rest.
Not the hospital bills. I've kept something from you.
Is right now the best time, Mommy? At this rate, I'm never gonna finish the dress.
Where did you get that dress?
Did you come here to interrogate me?
Elena, something's wrong. The orange trees are dying, the river's overflowing, something's wrong, and I think it's my fault.
It's not your fault that it rains in Puerto Rico, Mommy.
There's a story I need to tell you.
I don't have the time.
Well, make time, coño. It's the story about this house, Elena, and the people who lived here before you. They're here. They're listening. You need to know who they are.
In the town of Corozal, there was a house of Jibarito. Everyone around him loved him, everyone felt safe around him. Although he carried a machete everywhere he went, everywhere he went. And in the area surrounding lived a couple of Jibarita. Everyone around her let her have her space whenever she wanted. A cigarette was in her hand everywhere she walked, everywhere she walked.
El cigarrillo y el machete was a union for the ages. El cigarrillo y el machete, and their love would keep on raging.
El cigarrillo y el machete.
The couple moved into the Jibaro's house. The goal was peace and quiet. Although the house felt somewhat eerie, the man said she'd be safe beside him. The woman saw no trouble with him, so they married soon. Oh, so very soon. The Jibaro's stomach was growing, there was a baby on the way. The Jibaro could not believe it, a dream come true, so they say.
The baby was born within months, they gave her a name.
What was the baby's name?
Elena.
Elena. El cigarrillo y el machete came together, made a baby. El cigarrillo y el machete, now their love at once was tested.
So these spirits that have haunted me, they're your parents, meow.
The Jibaro started smoking, he took after his wife.
But the Jibaro was not to even touch the husband's good machete.
He said that her job was the baby.
Those are just for men,
Men are built for them.
The Jibaro would sometimes hear the whispers of a strange new woman. At night when she'd look out the window, she'd be standing at the river.
She had tears all on her face,
Though she couldn't see her eyes,
but she didn't look so sad.
But she didn't quite know why.
She saw herself in the woman. She called her La Llorona. But she couldn't leave because her husband locked the doors. She said she never hurt the baby, but the woman was ignored.
There wasn't any life to live, and the Jibaro was never home. She said she wasn't even trying, but he left her to mother alone.
Until he came on one day, and the baby wasn't there. Until he came on one day, and the river got so loud. Until he came on one day, everywhere the smell of smoke. Until he came on one day, and the mother in the kitchen, and the Jibaro, he saw her. She was standing by the sink, drowning something in the sink.
drowning someone in the sink. And the man got his machete, and he aimed and didn't miss, and he swung and didn't think, and the blood ran through the floorboards, but the baby was still there, sleeping in her bed, and that's when it was real.
What the woman had been washing was an orange from the field.
What the woman had been washing was an orange from the field.
This whole time you must have seen this happen. You must have been crying, screaming, seeing so many images for the first time. Your father was taken to jail. I mean, of course, why wouldn't he? He murdered his wife right in front of his baby daughter. Like he didn't end his own life right after like they do nowadays. Your father eventually died in jail, but not because of malnutrition or age or anything like that, no. He died slowly, diagnosed with lung cancer early during his time there. It gives me goosebumps every time I think of it. His machete was what killed her, but her cigarette was what killed him. Men think their fingers push every game piece on the board, but no man's ever safe from what he deserves, in life nor death.
Is it just me and Gabi that's left?
It's just you two from that bloodline, mi amor.
Did you steal me?
I was living in the same house I live now, right across from where it all happened.
Did you steal me from this house?
Elena, you don't understand what kind of pain I was going through.
Why did I have to be involved?
Elena, I was sterilized. After I gave birth to Miranda, I was sterilized against my will. Some plot from the United States to slow down how many babies were being put out. But that was not my choice. In the same way that your life, these horrors were not yours. I wanted to give you a new life. I saw myself in your eyes.
These crosses?
I warned you about this house before you ever moved in. But my words didn't matter to you. I brought these crosses to protect you. It's everything I can do. It's the whole reason why you're safe. It's the reason Gabby's safe.
You could have told me the truth.
I could have.
Leave.
But as your mother...
Leave!
Abuela Lydia came back crying, but she never told me what the fight was about. I assume it was after this fight that Elena tore down every cross from her walls, because I never saw a single cross hang again.
El cigarrillo y el machete es el bolso ya valiente. El cigarrillo y el machete con la muerte frente a frente. El cigarrillo y el machete de forever para siempre. El cigarrillo y el machete there's never leave waiting.
Elena no longer knew where she felt safe, so she sought refuge in the only place she had left to search in.
Padre? I don't know what to ask for. I've tried not to ask for anything. Sometimes that means I don't get anything, but that's fine. I tried letting people decide what to say about me, what to call me, what to think of me. I tried marrying. I tried giving birth. I obsessed over family and I got my son back. I wanted money and I found work. I wanted a shop, I got the shop. But Father, I feel watched. I hope this is okay to talk about in here. I think I'm haunted. Can good people be haunted? Or is that something that you deserve for your sins? I hear sounds and voices from the walls, from the sink, from the weeds outside of my house. They're in my head, but they come from somewhere else.
Well, how often do you come to church? Maybe if you
I'm not
came...
finished. The voices are not the reason I'm here. There's another spirit that follows me, and she wants my son. She's been asking for him since he was a baby. Since he was born, she's been asking me. I thought it was something that would go away, you know? I thought it was just something mothers didn't tell you but kept to themselves. But I'm hearing it again. I hear her in my sleep, and she'll peek through my window, and I'll see her silhouette. And I can't tell which way she's looking, but I know she's staring at me. She's wearing a gown and a veil, and she comes from the river behind my house. I know because Gabi is there, telling me that this is all just a dream. But I keep telling him, hey, La Llorona is real.
How would you feel if you never got to hold him again?
My son? I feel empty.
Because you want to be with him forever. Just not on this earth. Not in this reality. Not alive.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know what you...
I've asked you so many times. Let me have him. Let me take him off your hands. He can swim with me. You can swim with me too, Elena. The water cleanses. A life that's soiled by curses. It takes you to my side of the world, where everything you have and smell and touch is yours. With me, you're all that matters. With me, your life's a canvas. Far away from time, far away from history, far away from the colony. No one to please, no one to work
Then
for.
why are you here?
Unfinished business. Lineage. Elena. In more ways than one, we are connected. That's my confession. The woman with the cigarette. She's as much of your mother as I am. She also saw me. I also wanted you.
No.
But your son is Carlos. Your son is your father, the Hibaro, the murderer. Your son is my husband. The machete that extended from your father's hand was the razor that extended from Carlos's. Was the pen that extends from Gabi's hands now. If you don't kill your son, if you don't kill them, they will kill you.
Stop it!
You always knew he was not your son. How do you know? It's even him right now. How do you know he's real? You see your dead sister. You've seen your dead husband before. Gabi would be no different. Gabi be no different.
Gabi, your mom's gonna get back and I don't still want to be in here. Can we talk outside?
Listen,
I'm not here to listen. I told you we needed to talk. I don't want to talk in here. It's dark.
it's raining outside. Where do you want to go?
Gabi, why did you come back?
I missed it here. I missed you.
You said it was because of Lydia.
Yes. Someone told me while I was sick. I needed to come.
You told me you saw her in your dream.
I did.
Why did you come here?
Unfinished business.
Did you come here for me? What happened to you over there? I responded to every letter you sent me, but you wouldn't answer anything I asked in my letters. You wouldn't even mention them. Did you ever even read any of mine?
You're right, I'm sorry. I know I disappeared, but I came back, and I still want to be with you.
I'm with Bianca now, Gabby. Bianca and I have been together for the past 6 months. It's been right in front of you this whole time, but you just ignored me. I had been planning for so long for you to say something. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know if sending you letters was the best way. Don't pretend to be surprised now.
Oh, I was drinking, so take this with a grain of salt. I was driving down the bridge very late at night, and I saw this woman.
What are you doing?
Body under the floor.
It's not me, I don't know what's happening.
Turn it off.
I can't turn it off.
What was that? Is she here? Has she been here the whole time?
Is who here?
Your mom! Who else would be here? Who else is in here, Gabby?
Mommy's not here. Her car's not in the driveway. Alejandra, please, just stay. We can talk it out. We can figure this out. Don't leave me like everyone else. You're better than that.
I don't know what it was I saw in you. I can't remember who or what it was I loved back then. I genuinely can't remember. If you ever want to see me again, you're gonna have to go looking for me. I'm not searching for you anymore.
Oh, the woman again. The woman, there was water everywhere. No one believed me. She looked at me. The woman looked in the eye, horrifying eye. She wanted to grab me. She wanted to drown me. Her dress was wet. She wanted to kill me. Her face, it was falling off. Not the woman. It was peeling off. Her face. You believe me, right, Gabby? Gabby, you believe me, right? She was there. She was right there. She was, I swear. Hola, Gabby, I can't believe it's you. It's been so long. But look at you. We're here now. Mi querido Gabby. Mi hermoso Gabby. Come to the river. I've been waiting for you.
While Gabby was with Alejandra, Elena had driven up to visit Manolo, only to find him surrounded by boxes.
What are these boxes? Where are you going?
Somewhere. I don't know.
Why?
Elena, the shop burned down. My whole complex burned down. Every single one of my properties, I lost all of it. I called you so many times, and you never picked up. You haven't seen the news?
We lost power this morning.
So sorry to hear that.
Manolo, that was my shop too.
You know what caused the fire? A cigarette. It was lit and put out inside the store.
That's horrible. You think I did it?
No, I'm sure one of the ghosts did it.
Maybe, probably. Why are you leaving?
I don't know how to think anymore. I don't know what to do. The only reason I stayed here for this long was because of you. And now, Elena, I have nothing, zero.
I'm sorry, Manolo. I seriously don't know how something like that happened. I want to help you. I want to make it up to you however I can.
Then come with me. Que bien.
You haven't told me where you're going.
You need to get out of here. You need to see what it's like to not live surrounded by the only things you know. That's what's doing this to you.
I'm not leaving my family behind. I've made it this far. I'm too old to walk away on them. What I need is someone to help me here. There's something in my house ever since Gabi came back. I don't even know how he found out about Lydia. I don't know how he even knew to come, and now I'm seeing her again.
Seeing who?
I see La Llorona. I didn't want to say it. I never wanted to say it out loud. It's the most embarrassing thing I could possibly say, Manolo, but you're the only person I trust.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't know what you want me to say.
You don't believe me.
Elena, I just wanted a family. You want me to say something embarrassing too? I'm pretty sure I loved you. And I believe you might have loved me once too. But I wouldn't know.
So everything about the voices, about the echoes, the voices you hear at night.
I liked you, Elena. I was going along. That's called respect. I wanted to respect what you were going through. But I can't cling to that anymore. I'm in my 40s, Elena. I have to learn to let that go.
What about the shop?
I don't have insurance if that's what you're asking. I really thought this would be it for you and for us. I don't know. I'm going to find a place to go in the States. I can't be here anymore.
Manolo, La Llorona is after me. Please don't leave me alone with her in my head.
You need to find help, Elena. I wanted to be that for you, but you need to find someone who will.
I don't know exactly what happened when she talked to Manolo, but I could tell when she came back to her house she wasn't well.
See that look in your eyes. Recognize it all too well. Let me take away your pain. And bear to see your pain.
Why haven't you done it already? You have had every chance you wanted.
You haven't let me. You need to let me.
I don't know why you're here.
It needs to end. For you, for everyone after you. Let me take it away. Just say a word.
Abuela wasn't talking to me either. She walked out of the house and walked into the field where the orange trees were, and I didn't follow behind, but I could see her from a distance. She looked sadder than I had ever seen her, standing under this dead tree. She sang to someone I couldn't see. Something died in my grandmother that day.
If I told you what I know of fields like this, my dear, if I told you while the rains are pouring, there's some other field, some more vast and humbling, but the grass is greener here. Let me tell you, oh, how loud the trees are here, my dear. All the poems, their leaves composing, keeping songs up high to seem imposing. 'Cause the grass belongs to fields of yellow, fields of green. Food and fortune for a lifetime. Abuelo hacked away at orange trees while I stole a few to get back home to mommy. Abuela taught me to grow the trees. She picked me up and I learned to dream higher. Now I'm blue, all I've got are orange streets, which I won't complain, but once I had a family. What is family? A husband or wife, is it, my dear? Is it marriage? Or some flowers you got me? I'm espoused by song, by plantains and coffee, by the past and mother's tears. In these summers, I'll be very honest here, my dear. The air's so warm, you forget that timer's running. Soon we'll all be gone, and what matters most is what we make of our fields of yellow, fields of green. Stretch so far your eyes go cross-eyed. Life smells like the scent of orange trees when all is well, when there's no spirits roaming. Abuelo, they're catching up to me. Abuela, I'm sorry that I failed you. It's true, I don't deserve your orange seeds. I never learned to grow my trees correctly.
Something died in my grandmother that day. But inside Elena's house, something sinister was coming to life.
No.
Look at him. He's drinking. You know very well what alcohol does to a fragile man.
Stop saying that.
And prove to me that he is.
I went to go check on Elena's house, but I was too afraid to go inside. I stood outside the window and watched it all unfold. Elena was standing against the wall in the dark. The only thing illuminating the inside were some candles and this occasional flash of lightning. But Gabi wasn't looking at Elena. He was drunk, obscenely drunk, sitting at this table with a bottle of rum in one hand and a tape recorder playing stand in the other.
Prove it to yourself that he is not flesh.
Gabi, did you live alone?
What?
Did you live alone wherever you were living?
I lived alone, yeah. I lived alone. Sad. It was noisy. I lived alone.
Call your phone number.
What? What are you even saying?
Your phone number, the house phone, wherever you were living, I want you to call it.
Why?
I want to see who answers.
I told you I live alone. Why don't we just sit down and drink some hot chocolate instead, huh? I'm making some hot chocolate. I think you'd like it.
Just dial it.
You never saved my number?
There was no phone number for me to save. Stop with the questions. There. I drink the hot chocolate. Call the phone.
What are you trying to do? Hello?
Who is it?
Mommy?
And Gabi just stared at her with this. It was almost a smile.
Mommy, is that you?
Gabi. Who answered the phone? Gabi, why won't you tell me who answered the phone?
It doesn't matter, Mommy. What, are you gonna hurt me? Are you gonna hurt your son at this big age?
If I hurt you, I wouldn't be hurting my son.
Who was I to you? You never liked my dad and then he died. You never liked me, then I left. You never liked my girlfriend and she just left me. What else do you want to do to me? What more could you take? If I'd never been born, your life would...
My life would have been easier. Might have been beautiful, actually. Do you know how many people die fighting for a beautiful life? I would have had a thriving business. I would be a person this town had good things to say about. Someone people came to for help. A person with dreams, with a name, with a store, and with a future, maybe even something to leave behind. Where is all of that now? It's all ashes. Every penny I saved, every penny you stole, every penny I brought back together, every goddamn hour I spent working on that goddamn dress, gone!
You're not yourself, Mommy. We need to help you.
Oh, shut up, Gabi. Just be glad you never got a chance to meet me. Do you know why your dad took you and ran? Because he thought I would have taken you out myself first. I always knew I had it in me. There was something telling me that you would be trouble.
Stop it, Mommy.
And look at you now, coming back like a blood-sucking leech, taking our stories, taking my life and spitting on it. You say you're here for some island maiden book, but you're just here to ruin me. I can smell it in your breath. You know the way people talk about me here. You've heard the names that they call me, and you like that. You thought it was fun. You wanted to join in. Call me the island maiden. Call me whatever you want. Even in fiction, I'm the one paying your bills.
And it looked like Elena wanted to lunge at him, but instead she turned around and picked up the phone. And I couldn't see what she was dialing, but the number was short.
See? Policia? This is Elena. I'd like to turn myself in for the murder of Carlos, my husband. He was found dead. Nobody knew who did it. I killed him.
What are you doing?
I drowned him. I did it all myself. It's done.
Mommy, we could have fixed this. What did you just do?
What? This isn't what you wanted?
No, it's not what I wanted. I don't know what I wanted.
The cops are on their way already. There's nothing to do.
Can you at least finish the hot chocolate?
It's good.
I added butter.
Like your daddy used to.
I know.
How do you know?
My dreams, Ma. They tell me everything.
What's in this hot chocolate?
Butter.
God. What did you do?
She fell to the ground. I looked through the window and Elena's body was on the floor. She was unconscious. But Gabi just grabbed her by the shoulders and started dragging her body to his bedroom, and I didn't know what was happening. And I wanted to knock on the front door and help, but...
Who's looking through the window?
But he saw me. He looked and his face was not his.
Who's there?
And that's when I left. I had to run. I took Abuela with me and I picked up Alejandra on the way. And Abuela didn't want to come. She wanted to go back to Elena, but I couldn't let her. We weren't safe there. I told her the police were on their way. And the rest of the story is what I pieced together from what different people in Corozal told me. After Gabi dragged her into his bedroom, the cops arrived. He tried to convince them that she was gone, that what she made was just a drunk call, trying to distract them from the body in the room. But they didn't believe him. So they started looking for her everywhere inside the house until they found the door to Gabi's room was now open. But they weren't the ones who opened it. It was Elena. She was standing at the door. She was turning herself in. The police arrested her immediately, and Gabi watched as his mother walked out of the house and into the car in handcuffs. But after the police car left, Gabi turned around, and Elena was still inside the house, standing under a shadow, wearing a gown. And it was her gown, this perfectly tailored gown. And that's when Gabi and Elena learned that the dress she had been working on for so long, the one that the woman gave her, was her own.
Llegó la hora, Elena. No llores más por él. Ese no es su hijo. Toma el machete y haz lo que hay que hacer. They'll call you La Llorona. They'll blame you for their fears. They'll say your name forever. Their words will leave you drowning in your tears. You cannot change it. So just embrace it. They'll call you La Llorona. And you don't want to hear. It never does get better. You'll make the same mistakes for years, then years, say your goodbyes.
Wow. So, both of them are dead?
Presumably so. At least that's how I decided it would end.
Was anyone able to figure out who invited Gabi? And all of Gabby's tapes? Where are those now?
I eventually went back and I took them with me. They're in my closets. I haven't taken them out in weeks.
And Elena's shop?
Parking lot.
I see. So, what was your reasoning behind turning this story into a film? You know, given how Elena felt about the book Gabby was writing, how do you think she would feel about you making a whole movie about her?
You know, I actually think. Hey, are you there?
Sorry about that. Just some technical troubles. Well, you know, I think it's wonderful. I think the story's got great potential, especially since, you know, we don't see a lot of people like you or your family on our screens during these times. I hope with this project of yours, you know, things can start changing going forward. I hope these voices, or at least the good ones, the non-scary ones, I hope they can live on.
I hope so too.
Con se fueron como la primavera. Con las nubes como si nunca fuera.
Cántame una canción de lo que nunca sucedió. Cuenta el cuento al niño del niño que no nació. Grítale el himno sabio, el que nunca se escribió. Susúrrame el secreto, el que nunca supe yo. Sing me a song, the one about the feelings never had. Tell all the children stories of the childhood ever was. And yell and scream the hymns, the ones that no one got to write. Whisper to me the secrets of the truths that weren't mine. Eyes to the bodies working under heat and sweat and mud. Eyes to the heroes before the rivers start to flood. Eyes to the colony before they sold this land in blood. Eyes to the ones that live, and to the ones that live. I can hear the air. I can hear